In the thick forest of Yorubaland, a wandering prince of Oduduwa laid the foundation of a new kingdom. His people were hunters, warriors, and survivors. From their courage rose a throne that has endured for centuries, the throne of the Oluwo. Today, that throne is one of the most respected, most controversial, and most talked about in all of Yorubaland. This is the story of Iwo Kingdom, the throne of the Oluwo. The story begins in Ife, the cradle of the Yoruba people. Oduduwa, the great father of the Yoruba, had many children. Among them was Prince Ojurinian. Ojurinian left Ife in the 14th century, leading his followers on a long journey. They wandered through forests, rivers, and hills in search of fertile land and a place of destiny. Finally, they settled on a land rich with forest and game, a place where hunters thrived and warriors could defend their home. This became Iwo. And at its head, Ojurinian became the first Oluwo. The throne of the Oluwo was more than royalty. It was a symbol of power and survival. The Oluwo was the supreme ruler of Iwo, a spiritual father, and the commander of warriors. His court included chiefs, advisors, and priests who guided the kingdom. The title Oluwo itself means a lord of Iwo. From Ojurinian down through history, each Oluwo carried the burden of protecting the land, leading the people, and upholding traditions passed from Ife. Iwo was a kingdom of hunters and warriors. Its people were skilled with bows, arrows, and spears. They understood the forest and the spirits of the land. During the wars that shook Yorubaland in the 18th and 19th centuries, Iwo stood firm. Its warriors fought to defend the land, and its hunters kept the kingdom supplied and alive. The people of Iwo were deeply tied to Ogun, the god of iron. To them, war and survival were sacred duties. This made Iwo both respected and feared among neighboring kingdoms. Like other Yoruba kingdoms, Iwo was built on tradition and ritual. The Oden Oba, the King's Festival, celebrated the throne of the Oluwo with drumming, dancing, and public displays of loyalty. Masquerades filled the streets during important ceremonies, their colorful costumes representing ancestral spirits. Hunters, warriors, chiefs, and families all came together to honor their heritage, to thank the ancestors, and to celebrate the survival of Iwo. By the 19th century, Yorubaland was in turmoil. Wars, rivalries, and slave raids shook the land. The arrival of Europeans changed everything. Iwo, like many Yoruba kingdoms, was forced into contact with the British. Missionaries brought schools, Christianity spread, and trade routes opened. But colonialism was not kind. The Oluwo throne had to balance tradition with the pressures of a new world. Yet through it all, the throne endured. Today, the throne of the Oluwo is still alive, and more famous than ever. The current ruler, Oba Abdulrashid Adewale Akambi, Teluai, is one of the most talked about monarchs in Nigeria. Bold, outspoken, and unafraid of controversy, he has redefined what it means to be king in the 21st century. Unlike many traditional rulers who bow to ancient rituals, the Oluwo openly rejects idol worship. He declares himself a king who bows only to God. This has brought criticism, debate, and admiration. Some see him as breaking tradition, others see him as a reformer, a modern king in an ancient land. But beneath the drama of today lies the spirit of the founder, Prince Ojurinian. When he left Ife, he carried the courage of Oduduwa in his blood. When he settled in Iwo, he planted a seed of destiny. That seed has grown into centuries of kings, warriors, and culture. Every Oluwo since has carried the spirit of that journey, the will to survive, to lead, and to keep Iwo alive. The throne of the Oluwo is not just about power. It is about identity. It is about a people who survived wars, colonization, and modern pressures. The palace of the Oluwo stands today as both a monument to the past and a beacon for the future. In the beating drums of Iwo's festivals, in the bold voice of its king, and in the pride of its people, the kingdom still lives. From the wandering Prince Ojurinian to the modern Oluwo, Iwo Kingdom has carried the fire of Yoruba history. Its throne has survived centuries of war, colonial rule, and controversy. And still it stands, bold, unbroken, and eternal. The story of Iwo is not just the story of a kingdom. It is the story of resilience, courage, and the unshakable spirit of a people. As long as the throne of the Oluwo stands, the heartbeat of Iwo will never fade. Asterisk.